This video was sponsored by Apex. The long-awaited second season of Apex Legends is out now, and it's called Battle Charge. It brings with it a brand new weapon, the L-Star, new game-changing attachments, changes to weapon balance and legend balance, as well as a brand new legend, Wattson. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, the map has changed up too. And I wanted to talk about all of the changes that Season 2 has brought with it, and offer up some quick-fire tips and tricks for the game to get you up to speed. And if you're interested in checking out the game for yourself, there's a link in the description below. So why has the map changed then? Well, there was a huge EMP blast inside the zone instigated by an unknown figure. As such, the huge Leviathans and flyers that were once outside of the playable area, well, they've now taken up residence in the zone and brought with them a lot of destruction. As well as some destroyed areas, there are new points of interest and new buildings dotted around. There's a brand new structure at the bridges area called the Cage, which is pretty cool, and interestingly there are actually no bridges there anymore. They've been destroyed. The Cascades are destroyed too, and they've got new buildings there, and even the wastelands are looking a bit more luscious these days. And those Leviathans, well, you've got to be careful around them. Every now and again they will make a big noise, and they will lift up one of their legs. Most of the time it's the front left leg, but sometimes it's both front legs. If you're quick, you can get underneath the leg and get some of the loot that's hiding underneath, but you've got to be snappy because if that leg lands on you, you're dead. So what about that L-Star then? Well, this is a brand new weapon in the game. You can only find it in supply drops, but if you get it, it's a monster. It fires red beams of death incredibly fast at people, and the hipfire on it is very strong. If I've got an L-Star on me, I like to use it when I absolutely have to because the ammo cannot be replenished. But if you jump a squad with this thing, you can absolutely destroy them in a matter of seconds. It's very strong. Also, a quick tip, at the start of regular matchmaking, some supply drops have already landed and you'll be able to see them on the map. They're the little blue ping circles, and that's a really good opportunity to drop early and see if you can get the new weapon, the L-Star. Although, beware that these will be quite hot drops to begin with, but if you never try, you never know, and if you land first, you could end up getting a few kills on the table straight away. All of that sounds brilliant, but what about this new legend? Well, the new legend is called Wattson. Interestingly, Wattson isn't a mercenary. She's actually an engineer and a scientist, and according to the lore, she helped her father build the arena. So what are her abilities? Well, Wattson is all about electric. At her disposal, she's got 12 electric nodes that she can place down. And when placed, they join together to create an electric fence. And you can place these nodes down anywhere that you want within a certain range. And as such, you can create some interesting defensive or offensive options. The fences are there to stop enemies, and if they move through the fences, not only will they take damage and be slowed, but their entire squad will be pinged. This means that, in theory, you could place some of these fences down in tactical areas or choke points as perhaps an early warning sign. Other uses could be to defend a certain area when you're trying to revive or regroup, or even block off certain routes to help with aggressive flanking. It's worth noting that teammates can run through the fences without taking damage, but they will deactivate briefly. Wattson's ultimate works hand in hand with this, and it's called the Interception Pylon, and when placed down it will destroy bombardments such as artillery strikes, grenades and arc stars. It's very useful in a team fight or if people start to drop ultimates on you. Now, Wattson also has a passive ability that enables her to get 100% ultimate charge from a single accelerant. This means that ultimate accelerants are super valuable to Wattson. Not only that, but when next to her Interception Pylon, you and your teammates can use it to slowly regenerate your shields. All in all, Wattson I think is a great defensive hero. You can use her fences to block off enemies' routes or mess with people who are stuck in buildings. Quick tip though, when playing against Wattson, you can destroy the fences by shooting the circular base at the bottom of them. The game also has two brand new hop-ups, and these really do change things up. The first hop-up is the hammer point rounds, and you can put these either on the Mozambique or the P2020 pistol. The hammer point rounds do more damage against unshielded enemies, and then the second hop-up is the Disruptor rounds, which can be attached to either the Alternator or the RE45. The Disruptor rounds deal more damage against shielded enemies, and the Alternator in particular is absolutely deadly. A fully decked out Alternator with Disruptor rounds completely destroys people with shield, even at long ranges. It's honestly quite strong. And here's where you've got a bit of a strategy. You can drop an enemy shield really quick using a weapon equipped with Disruptor rounds and then switch to another, perhaps stronger weapon to finish them off. The best case scenario though is if you've got one of each type, and while the hammer point rounds do work well, I think the Disruptor rounds are the most useful because of how much shield most players have. Energy weapons are now far more useful because they've got a new attachment in the form of extended mags. And this works just like any other extended mag in the game, so the rarer the mag, the larger the ammo capacity, but it's made weapons like the Havoc far more enticing. In fact, I was regularly picking it up, whereas before I would just avoid it. If you can get one of the larger extended mags, it's absolutely worthwhile now, although I will warn you that energy ammo is pretty scarce at times. And while we're talking weapons, the Flatline, P2020 and the Alternator have all had a slight damage increase. In fact, I was using the P2020 every now and again without any hop up and it still felt good at close range. There are some big meta changes with some of the legends that are worth knowing about. There are now 2 extra passive abilities that some legends have. Gibraltar and Caustic now have the Fortified passive, which reduces incoming damage by 15%. And gives them immunity to slow effects from weapon fire. On the other side of that, Wraith, Lifeline and Pathfinder have been given the low profile passive, which increases incoming damage by 5%. This means that if you're playing any one of those characters, you will go down a bit faster than before, especially if you're getting hit with one of the new hop-up rounds. Next, we're going to talk about the brand new ranked mode in Season 2. At any point now, you can choose to either play a standard game of Apex or play a ranked game instead. And you can level up through 6 tiers starting at Bronze and working your way all the way through to Apex Predator. There is a special matchmaking for the ranked modes, and so in theory, the higher that you rank, the harder the games will be. You will then get rewards at the end of the season depending on where you finished. It's an interesting system, and I'm sure that all the competitive players are going to love grinding all the way up to Apex Predator. There are also a few other cool things in Season 2, like when you're wandering around you may find flyers up high on ledges or just in the sky. Underneath them they may be holding a death crate with varying rarity. If you shoot the flyers, eventually they will drop the death box and it will land on the floor, allowing you to grab whatever was inside. What's cool though is that the player name on the box is usually a random name from your own friends list, so your friends may inadvertently help you out with some good loot. And of course, on top of all this, there's the new battle pass with a ton of cosmetics that you can work towards and a new challenge system offering up daily and weekly challenges. I'm really enjoying the season so far, and there's been some big meta changes that have shook things up a bit. Get stuck in, earn various rewards, and remember, the higher that you get in the ranked season, the better your rewards when it finishes in a few months' time. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. A big thanks to Apex once again for sponsoring this video, and you can check the link in the description for more information. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.